Bit of advice you give to Dubois against Usyk?
Okay, knock him out. Because I wouldn't say that because it's in England and you know it's on his home show, so just do the best you can. That's it.
I think Usyk again. It's a tough fight. That Usyk guy is talented. He's so talented. He's so small for a heavyweight too. He's non-stop movement and his footwork and everything. It's so different than anybody else. Joshua didn't know what to do with him. He's like, where is this guy going to be when I'm throwing punches? He's a heavyweight, and the heavyweights were never really that good. Dubois is coming into his own, man. That's what that is. He's only like 27, right?
Yep.
Yeah, he's coming into his. That guy's scary.
Tyson Fury isn't just playing hype man, he's playing chess. When he throws his support behind Daniel Dubois ahead of the rematch with Oleksandr Usyk, he's not simply rooting for the underdog, he's fueling a fire with a personal motive. Fury isn't cheering for Dubois as a fellow Brit, he's projecting his own unfinished business onto him. Let's not sugarcoat it. Fury wants redemption by proxy. Dubois taking out Usyk would clear a path for Fury to regain dominance without having to go through the Ukrainian maestro again. But saying,
I would rather fight right now, Usyk, because I want me revenge in England. That's all I want. I want a fair shout, and I don't believe I've got a fair shout the last 2 times.
Dubois hurt Usyk in their first encounter? Come off it. That infamous body shot? It was one lucky punch in a round Usyk still dominated. Sure, it caught Usyk off guard, but a real threat would have capitalized on that moment. Instead, Usyk got up, reset, and dismantled Dubois with the type of icy composure that defines elite fighters. That moment exposed not Usyk's vulnerability, but Dubois' inability to pounce when opportunity knocked. And that's what separates the good from the great.
He challenged Usyk in the ring after the fight.
These guys are begging now for the payday because we know who the king is.
That's right.
And these guys need him. He doesn't need them. Oleksandr Usyk can choose to fight whoever he wants. He is now the...
Fury, for all his bluster, is hoping for a miracle. He's banking on a single body shot turning into a full-blown upset. But that's not a strategy. That's wishful thinking. If you think Fury's faith is bold, wait until you hear what Tony Bellew has to say about Usyk's position in the heavyweight division. Bellew hits the nail on the head. These so-called contenders aren't chasing world titles. They're chasing Usyk. The belts are secondary now. Usyk is the payday, the puzzle, and the presence that looms over every serious heavyweight's career. He's not just holding titles.
I do believe in Daniel Dubois as a fighter, that he's got what it takes to be successful against Oleksandr.
He's defining legacies. Anyone who steps into the ring with him knows the magnitude of what they're facing. Whether it's Fury, Dubois, or anyone else, they're entering Usyk's kingdom. And make no mistake, Dubois needs Usyk. Without this rematch, Dubois risks fading into irrelevance. But Usyk? He doesn't need to run it back. He already handled business once. He exposed Dubois thoroughly, technically, tactically, and psychologically. Of course, Dubois' trainer Don Charles remains optimistic. He believes Dubois can flip the script. But let's call it what it is, misplaced faith. Charles isn't looking at cold, hard facts. He's clinging to the narrative that Dubois made a tactical error. That's not what happened. What we witnessed wasn't a blunder. It was a full-blown collapse under pressure. Dubois folded.
Probably legal to fight. You get hit around the belt, you get hit around the leg, you got hit, and you went down.
Plain and simple. It wasn't a matter of strategy, it was a matter of heart. Usyk didn't just win the fight. He dominated every layer of it. He broke Dubois mentally before he broke him physically. And if you're banking on a repeat of that body shot and calling it a game plan, you're already setting the stage for another failure. So where do you stand? Are you in the corner of the tactician, the chess master Oleksandr Usyk? Or do you believe in the redemption arc of a young man trying to rewrite his narrative? Drop it in the comments, but remember, belief alone doesn't win fights. Even Anthony Joshua, a man who has shared the ring with Usyk twice, has weighed in. AJ, known for his careful words, tried to keep it diplomatic. But even in his neutrality, the message was clear. He's seen worse body shots, and he's seen better responses. The way Dubois went down
is a class act, a mature individual because he's older and wiser, comes from a completely different background. But Daniel Dubois is growing into himself. This will be one hell of a fight. This will be a proper fight, like all of the Usyk fights.
It wasn't convincing. Legal or not, it was the reaction that told the story. Usyk didn't land a low blow, he landed a message. Dubois dropped, hesitated, and took the count. That moment told the world he didn't want to continue. It screamed hesitation, doubt, and defeat, not resilience. Joshua, who knows what it means to fight through adversity, understood immediately that wasn't a champion's response. Meanwhile, Fury's now tossing around lines like, break his legs, when talking about how Dubois should approach the rematch. But Fury's missing the point. Dubois couldn't even stand tall the first time. This was never about legality, it's about grit. Usyk has it. Dubois? Jury's still out. That's what separates real champions from temporary contenders. And Simon Jordan, never one to mince words.
When I fight Usyk in December and beat him, I'll reign all the belts I should never have lost, and then I'll fight the Dubois.
Gets it. He respects both men, but points out the critical difference. When he calls Usyk a class act and a mature fighter, he's saying what many are too polite to admit. Dubois is still trying to find himself. Usyk's path was forged in fire, Olympic gold, unified cruiserweight domination, and a flawless transition to heavyweight. Dubois, meanwhile, is still developing. That's code for not ready. You don't step into the ring with a man like Usyk when you're still figuring things out. You do that, and you end up exactly where Dubois found himself the first time, outclassed and out of answers. Fury might be hoping Dubois delivers vengeance, but hope is not a fight plan. Usyk is the ultimate disruptor. Every time he steps in, he turns a contest into a masterclass. Against Chisora, AJ, and Dubois, the pattern is the same.
He's a beast, he's a good fighter, he's a hard fighter to beat. And I think he'll learn from the mistakes he made in the first fight against Usyk, and it will give him a hard fight. Look, he has the tools to win.
Frustrate early, adapt mid-fight, and finish strong. And unless Dubois has turned into a completely new fighter, which is rare at this level, he's walking into another dismantling. Still, the noise continues. Even Amir Khan, another former champion, has joined the Dubois support train. He's called Dubois a beast, claiming he's learned from his mistakes. But again, we have to separate hype from substance. That first Usyk fight, it wasn't a minor error, it was a psychological breakdown on the world stage. Dubois didn't just get beat, he got exposed. Having tools in your arsenal means nothing if you don't know how to use them under pressure. And that's where Usyk thrives, under pressure. He pushes fighters to their limits, not just physically, but mentally. Khan might believe in Dubois, but belief doesn't translate into resilience. It doesn't build ring IQ, and it certainly doesn't defeat.
I kind of figured that one out, but at the end of the day, the whole turning point was after the fifth. It was the sixth round. He did what winners do. He said, a winner never lets you get momentum, does he? No, a winner's not.
A technician like Usyk. Then there's Teddy Atlas, the voice of truth in boxing. When Teddy talks, everyone listens, and he put it plainly. Real champions don't hand over momentum. Usyk, in that fifth round where controversy could have rattled him, didn't flinch. He adjusted. He controlled the pace, and in round 6, he put on a clinic. That wasn't just a response, it was a psychological uppercut. Usyk didn't just reset, he reasserted dominance. That's the kind of mental sharpness you can't teach. You're either built for that moment or you're not. And in the heat of their first battle, Dubois blinked. Fury may be shouting for vengeance, but the blueprint is out. Usyk is a chess player in a room full of brawlers. He adjusts, he adapts, he absorbs, then retaliates. The moment you think you're ahead, you're already behind. That's what makes him so dangerous. And finally, we have Dave Allen, a man who's shared the ring with Usyk and lived to tell the tale. His testimony is simple.
You know, like you said, like Daniel hit him with that shot and he never capitalized on it.
Yeah.
I sparred him for maybe 40 rounds in 2 weeks. I didn't hit him with one shot. Dubois might have, if that was a legal shot, I don't think it was. But good luck at him again. Hitting Usyk with 2 clean shots in 12.
Simple, but telling. After weeks of sparring, Allen couldn't land a single clean shot. Let that sink in. Dubois may have landed one, but failed to follow up. That doesn't mean he's cracked the code. It means he had one lucky moment in a fight he was losing. Allen doesn't sugarcoat it. Usyk is nearly impossible to hit clean, much less defeat. And if Dubois' entire case rests on a single punch, he's in trouble. Because Usyk isn't just hard to beat, he's hard to touch. This rematch isn't about revenge, it's about validation. Usyk has already proven his point. Now, he's looking to make it undeniable. Beating Oleksandr Usyk over 12 rounds is such a tall order, it borders on the mythical. And that's not coming from casual speculation. It's from those who've stood in the ring with him. Ask anyone who shared rounds with Usyk, and they'll tell you, he's not just difficult to hit, he's impossible to figure out. If Daniel Dubois couldn't do it in 2023, when he had youth, size, momentum, and the element of surprise, what makes...
It was a different machine.
Self-confidence will be...
And time waits for no man, as the saying goes. I just think that this is a fight that it's exciting. It's a good fight. You've got to make Usyk the favourite, but it's a fight that Daniel Dubois can definitely win.
Yeah.
I don't think Usyk should.
Makes anyone believe he'll solve the puzzle now. That first encounter wasn't about tactics. It was about temperament. When the lights shined their brightest, Dubois froze. And when a fighter freezes against Usyk, there's no second act. There's just slow dissection. Usyk doesn't give back momentum. He doesn't allow breathing room. He exploits hesitation and builds dominance with every round. Fury may want redemption through Dubois, but this isn't a grudge match. It's a mental game, and Usyk holds all the answers. And if you think that's a harsh assessment, wait until you hear what Carl Froch has to say. Even Froch, known for his no-nonsense takes, sounds like a man caught between fantasy and realism. On one hand, he praises Dubois, calling him a changed fighter, a different machine since their first meeting. But in the same breath, he admits Usyk is still the favorite, and that alone speaks volumes. Usyk, despite all the supposed growth in Dubois' arsenal, experience, composure, power, he's still the underdog. That's because time hasn't dulled Usyk.
I think I'll give Dubois a shot in that fight. It's a good time. I mean, a little bit of inactivity because of the fight falling through against Joseph Parker, but, you know, it's exciting. And I think definitely a fight.
It's sharpened him. He remains the chess master in a heavyweight landscape full of punchers and brawlers. Froch might want to believe in the transformation of Dubois, but he knows that confidence alone doesn't land jabs, slip counters, or make you mentally unbreakable. Usyk is not a man who should stop fighting. He should keep schooling heavyweights who believe size and brute force are all it takes. Froch sees potential in Dubois, yes, but potential is a double-edged sword. Against a man like Usyk, it's not enough to have promise. You need polish, pedigree, and the kind of toughness that doesn't break in the 9th round. And that's where Dubois is still haunted, by the ghost of that 9th round. No matter how many trainers talk up his evolution, no matter how many pundits paint a redemption arc, those mental scars are still there. Now even Eddie Hearn, one of boxing's greatest promoters, has entered the fray.
It's not an easy task, but he's definitely the man that can go through with it. He's done the work, he's gone through the pedigree, and he's a certified champion. So, you know, I think, he has big hopes on doing it. He's going to do it.
But even he sounds unsure about what Dubois actually brings to the table. Hearn, ever the salesman, gives Dubois a shot. But let's be clear, that's not faith. That's hedging bets. When Hearn mentions inactivity, it doesn't bolster confidence. It raises concern. Dubois hasn't been sharpening his weapons. He's been sitting idle. Meanwhile, Usyk continues to evolve, staying sharp, focused, and always on the hunt for the next chess piece to move. When Eddie says it's a great fight, what he really means is it's great if Dubois shows something we've never seen before. Composure at the elite level, under pressure he's never truly conquered. Because anything less, and he's staring at the canvas again, this time wondering how another legal body shot unraveled everything. Again. Usyk's consistency is lethal. His adaptability suffocates opponents. And Dubois? He's still a question mark. Something even Eddie can't spin away. But if you're still wavering on who has the edge in this mental and physical war, just listen to what Lennox Lewis has to say. When Lennox Lewis speaks, boxing listens. A Hall of Famer, an undisputed champion, and one of the sharpest minds the sport.
19th is a chance for Daniel Dubois to go down in British sporting folklore and to go and do the business, reverse that result.
Has ever seen, Lennox is giving Usyk the seal of approval. He's not peddling hype, he's paying homage to pedigree. And in heavyweight boxing, pedigree is everything. It's what gets you through rounds 10, 11, and 12 when your lungs are on fire, your legs are cramping, and your opponent still looks like it's round 1. Usyk has been there, done that, worn the belts, fought the best, and never cracked. Dubois? He's still chasing that moment, still looking to earn a seat at the grown-up table. Lennox may say he believes Dubois can do it, but read between the lines. The tools, the resume, and the mental toughness all point one way. Usyk is the finished product. Dubois is still in development. And in boxing, hope gets flattened when it meets experience. That hasn't stopped Frank Warren from throwing the full weight of British boxing behind Dubois. Warren is painting July 19th as a historic night, one where Dubois rewrites his own narrative. It's romantic, it's patriotic, and it's rooted in fragile hope. Frank wants this to be Dubois' coming-of-age moment, his hero's arc, his shot at glory. But boxing folklore isn't written through optimism. It's carved out through fire. You pass the test by walking through hell and walking out the other side. Dubois, in his first true trial, crumbled. Now Warren's banking on a complete reversal, believing that Dubois will rise and conquer the most intelligent, adaptive, and composed fighter in the entire division. That's not a rematch, that's a reinvention. And the harsh truth is, Usyk doesn't let men reinvent themselves. He finishes stories, he ends careers. He doesn't hand out sequels, he writes final chapters. And unless Dubois has discovered a new soul, a new level of mental resilience, and a new gear entirely, this second chance might just be another violent lesson in the Usyk masterclass. British dreams are on the line, but so is brutal reality. And with everything built up to this point, the heavyweight division may be heading into its most unforgiving chapter yet. This is no longer just a boxing match. It's vengeance with gloves on. Tyson Fury isn't merely backing Dubois with polite encouragement. He's demanding destruction. He wants Dubois to break Usyk's rhythm, his mystique, and if necessary, his ribs. For Fury, this isn't about titles, it's about ego, about unfinished business, about erasing the humiliation he suffered at the hands of Usyk. Fury sees Dubois as his avatar, a younger, more powerful vessel to get revenge. But here's the problem. Usyk thrives in chaos. He's made a career dismantling bigger, meaner, angrier men. He doesn't just box, he mentally disarms. He's not rattled by threats, he thrives on them. If Usyk wins again, and wins convincingly, he slams the door shut on every doubter. Every British voice that's ever questioned his greatness gets silenced in one night. Fury's blueprint for revenge, dead on arrival. Dubois, he goes from redemption story to a two-time failure. But if Dubois pulls off the upset of the decade, then everything flips. Fury gets his opening. Dubois becomes a national hero. Usyk's aura takes a hit. The division is thrown into chaos. It's legacy-defining for everyone involved. This is a fight where reputations hang by a thread, where mental toughness matters more than muscle. The spotlight is brutal. The pressure, suffocating, and only one man walks away with pride intact. So here's the burning question. Has Dubois truly evolved from a boy into a beast, or is he walking into another cold, calculated beating from the most composed fighter in the game? No excuses, no politics. So tell us, are you backing the icy brilliance of Oleksandr Usyk, the master tactician? Or do you believe Daniel Dubois will finally explode into the man Fury hopes he can be? Drop your thoughts in the comments, because this one is more than personal. It's boxing at its most unforgiving.